Welcome to Guess Poetry Reading number 6.
Alrighty. Now, what I thought we would do is to say before you start, I'm not going to be introducing this time, but when it's your time, when I call your name, just um, say your name, city and state, or country, and then one line about something about maybe your latest book, um, or project or just something about you, and then proceed to read two poems, each fitting nicely on one page. Okay, let's start with, why don't we start with Susie? She was here first.
Good afternoon, evening, morning, where you are. I'm Susie. I'm located in Florida, USA, in the Ocala National Forest. This poem is just sort of not connected to anything. I have connected poems I'll read later. It's called And Then. There aren't enough birds left. The feeders hang full. The palm warblers are faded, and too few aren't enough. But in listening at the edge of an afternoon, a lone jay calling one note, calling one who doesn't answer despite loud machines in the ocean of air above. He is calling, answered by a family of sandhill cranes. 9 now, only 9 now, aren't enough. And then, in the cycle of day to dark, and then a blast of foreign folk music on one's country pavement upsets all the ponies. And eventually dog's ire, voiced in the quadrants. And then the owls, a family, one, and with what is left, not enough. But they choose the oldest oaks, the owls in quadrant, a family, until a rooster finally remembers. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. Suzanne West.
Okay, I didn't know I would be asked, but that's okay. Thank you, Susie. That was great. All right, let's see. Here we have uh, Lost Woman. You are missing sentences, heat, fresh vegetables, pillow. You are missing warm bread and hope. Your stomped on heart on your sleeve and in the cracks around your eyes. Broken gate, arms that gave up, reaching to nowhere. Your stomped on heart bleeds lonely, bleeds loud, bleeds onto the sidewalk. Our hearts would break if we let them. You don't look up, but you know we're there. We are being given another chance to love, to turn towards your pain, to dismiss the voices that would have us look away. And alrighty, this is called Soul Medicine. I feel haunted by the world pain today, head on fire with what to do's, fueled by fear and urgency. I remember an antidote to the mind's desperate need for right now answers and solutions, fixes. Can eyes flow, sit for a while in not knowing, let uncertainty be the spacious, soothing field that it is? Can I welcome peace? Let her cradle me in satisfaction until the fire becomes ashes and I can hear the wise counsel of boundless wisdom guiding me towards right action.
Thank you. But may I ask, well, where are you located?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm in San Rafael, California, in the United States.
You have a book or project or something you'd like to mention?
Let's see. I have a poetry collection called what's it called? Subterranean Light. And I wrote another book called Soul Care for Caregivers, How to Help Yourself While Helping Others. And I'm putting some courses together for caregivers.
Oh, great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, okay, how about Finn Hall from Scotland?
Yep, that's me. I'm from the northeast of Scotland. The winter still lingers on like an unwanted guest at a wedding. So I'm actually putting those that know me, I'm always doing something. So what I'm doing just now is I'm reissuing all my books that was on Amazon, all the anthologies that I put together. I do more anthologies, like some of you have been in them anyway, more anthologies than anything else. And I'm reissuing them all on lulu.com and winding down Amazon slowly. And I'm also putting together another film, but it's a film just with me in it this time, about a project that I'm doing called Act My Age, which is a bunch of poems about being the wonderful age I am. I get to do one from it, and then I get to do a new one that's nothing to do with it. And this one from it is called Dark. Dance while your lights are lit. Darkness comes too soon. And I don't have it online, it's just in my hand here. So you need a dialogue with fear to help you keep your ship on an even keel and help you steer around the rocks, whilst not being afraid of the rocks, but be aware of the rocks. The rocks don't know that you are there. You, however, know they exist. Not everything is black and white, but also it's not all psychedelic colors, and not everyone is out to get you. Neither does the world owe you a sandwich. You have to make your own sandwich. But if someone offers you a sandwich, salad for your sandwich, then they might just be offering you salad for your sandwich and not wanting anything in return, except the simple thank you. With age, they say, comes experience, but experience doesn't come with sitting at home, sitting still, both physically and mentally, sitting alone, prone to nothing. And nothing is more than a state of mind. Nothing is a state of being, and being afraid of nothing is nothing short of odd, and just as complex as being afraid of everything. And sadness doesn't always howl. Sometimes it's the whispering voice at the end of the day in your head asking, is there room in your head for one more? Right, and this one is it's a new one. I just wrote this a couple of days ago, and it's one thing that the orange ogre in the White House. No, it's a weekend. He'll be down playing golf. Orange ogre on the golf courses managed to inspire, shall we say, a lot of people to write stuff. And this one's called "A Lie is Worth 1,000 Lives. A Hug is Worth 1,000 Words." When a blue rose is all you have left to remind you of a love you lost, as they were sent back to a country they no longer know, by immigrants who hate immigrants and want to rob you of your life because you aren't rich like them. Saving money so they can spend more money playing golf and save more money. It's funny that. These weeks at the start of the end of things only brings tears and fears for the sick and older years where Mrs. insert name here will have no say. The cowards who pretend to care, still blissfully unaware that they are losing rights, accepting lies just because. Just because the words were said by the man who is not right in the head, and the world looks on in dismay. Whereas both parties are to blame for this shame. The glorifying bluster of thinking they are top dog and stars and stripes before each game. Enough already. Frog marching democracy out the door forever and ever more. Do it now. Stop waiting. Can't you see what he is creating? In some years to come, not long, I think the downtrodden, beaten, scared, and marginalized are on the brink. They will want to escape the so-called land of the free when nothing is free and be the next generation of refugees. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Paul Richmond. How about you?
Okay, well, thank you for doing this. I'm in Massachusetts, and you can check out my website, which is humanairpublishing.com, and my YouTube channel, and that's got a lot of stuff that I always keep putting up, and new movies coming up. And here's and you said one pagers, so here's two. This is a true story. It's called "I'm Not Done Shopping." He jumped from the seventh floor. He just went right over the railing. His girlfriend wouldn't stop shopping after 5 hours. She wanted to go to another shoe store. They were in a giant 12-story mall. An argument exploded right there on the seventh floor near the escalators. Yelling and screaming. He's yelling, she has enough shoes for 20 women. She says she needs new shoes. Suddenly he turns. He ran and jumped right over the railing from the seventh floor. He flies 7 stories. Why didn't he just walk away? He jumped right over the railing from the seventh floor. The thought of being in a mall for 5 hours has me wanting to jump over the railing. Actually, I don't think of jumping over the railing. I don't spend 5 hours in a mall. And I have learned to walk away. The mall had to shut down for a period of time to remove the body. People were very upset. People don't like to have their shopping disrupted. And this is called Sitting on the Porch. Sitting on the porch, I see our 2 cars parked in our driveway with the main paved road going north and south at the entrance. We could hit the road, sitting on our porch thinking change happens slowly. But then again, it depends what we're talking about. Days slip by and suddenly I'm an old man. Governments crawl in stopping the destruction. Plans for change in themselves for the future when they needed to be happening yesterday. Sitting on our porch, acknowledging the pain lasts forever, pleasure slips away. Can't do anything about the past. I worry about the future and ask myself, what am I doing about it besides sitting here and worrying? Sitting on the porch, I watch the sun go down. Another day gone. Glad I'm here on this floating rock that's called the earth. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Okay, Linda Woldyka.
Hello, everybody. I'm dropping things on the floor. I'm from Massachusetts as well. As I said, Paul lives maybe a little over an hour from me. That's in the United States. And I live in Berkshire County. And I'm in the second year of the Beat Poet Laureate for Massachusetts. And I just have been planning readings and writing poems. So I have some readings coming up, not until April. But that's kind of where I'm at. So I'll read 2 poems. If it isn't real, it would be nothing at all. It is desire more than adoration stealing my attention. Even practicing will not improve the chances. It swarms with self-doubt, yet blossoms like hope. It manipulates my brain as if hanging on every word. Scholars, muses, poets authenticate every line. The words talk to me from the page like reassurances gone awry. I hear the voice read, I memorize its flavor. No aromatics, no citrus, no healing balm or cleansing sage can lend its purity to the sanctity I embrace. It thrives on time and its passing. To vanish is to perish. This inspiration is a continuum. Reality is not an anomaly. It is a subtle belief, more than human hearts dare hang their life on. The second one is fluidity. Breezes comb water's surface, ripples form a rolling wake, water laps upon shore, splashes and splays endlessly. Soothing rhythm mellows senses like the rise and fall of concerto's tempo. Human instinct to rock and sway, intoxicating melodic slap against beaches, sand, grass, muck proliferating along the shoreline since glacier melt. Life's currents like amniotic fluid, swishing, buoying a babe. Blood circulates through arteries within its sac-like lake. Adrift we flow aimlessly upon Earth's surface, rife with springs, lakes, rivers, expansive seas. Birth life itself, like ever-floating weed. Death silences the flow, brings life to a halt. Only the soul knows whether stillness or fluidity becomes our eternal destiny. Tides erupt endlessly.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Okay, Mark Saba.
Hello, I'm from West Bath, Maine. Belinda, is your daughter in Portland, Oregon or Portland, Maine?
Portland, Oregon.
Okay, I thought if you were ever in Portland, Maine, I'd come down and
Oh,
see you.
sure.
Anyway, I just had a novel published called The Shoemaker, which I'll be reading in Boston on May 17th at IM Books at North End, in case Paul and Linda are around. But today I'm going to read from my poetry book published last year called Flowers in the Dark. This first poem is my response to the fact that they're not teaching cursive in school anymore, because that was my favorite class. It's called Spencerian Script. And my grandmother was from Italy, so she's referred to in this. My grandmother's Altosangrino dialect is fast disappearing. In Castel di Sangro, you can now find an Irish pub, B&B, a flood of foreigners at a world-class spa. The young from Naples come to ski, bringing their own dialect with them, a Napolitano sprinkled with new phrases of the Giovanotti. Nobody would understand my grandmother. She once sent me a note in Italian, along with a box full of pizzelle, her handwriting bearing the hallmark capital C for Caterina and S for Saba, in beautiful Spencerian script. I wondered for years about that script. In elementary school, handwriting was my favorite class, though I had learned a more modernized version, one that dispensed with Spencerian flourishes to uphold the sober industrial age. Now they are no longer teaching handwriting. It is considered superfluous, even useless in the age of technology. Thoughts can be banged onto keyboards, no regard for their presentation. The essence that words can betray is absent, leaving us to search in the stark landscape of computer screens for hints of those mysterious flourishes that once made us want to write and eat the ancient pizzelle. And my next poem is kind of new. I just wrote it a couple weeks ago. I was kind of ruminating about all the stuff that we have. It's called What Peg Are You? Do you stand dumbfounded browsing the shelves of a warehouse grocery store as you strain to read the fine print to discover which version of a piquant salsa was designed for you? Do you load the truck at the dock, filling it with cardboard boxes that house wrapped specimens of what must be consumed? Do you discard the wrappers in a receptacle under the sink? Do you carry the bin out to the curb and keep it safe from marauding wildlife? Are you the one who trucks it away and dumps it once again in a concealed location far from the glittering shops that stay open all night? Does the cracking plant feed your family with a paycheck cut from petroleum plastics that house your bottle of shampoo? Do you design the label, enticing us to wash away the natural oils of your hair? What about the berries you pick that get stuffed into stiff containers, so safe on their voyage to another continent, another season? What if you stopped to ask a question? What peg am I in this madness? How would it be if I removed it and it all came tumbling down, the way leaves and needles fall every autumn, and after 1 year, leave no trace?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Mona, could you please say your full name? I'm not sure I could pronounce the last name correctly.
Sure thing. My name is Mona Zamfirescu. I live in Cedar Grove, New Jersey. This is the northern part of New Jersey. And what I write mostly these days is connected to my schoolwork from my MFA program in creative writing. I'm going to City College in New York for that. I'm a first year student. So the poems that I'm going to read are homework, pretty much. One of them is on the theme of superheroes, except that I did not pick a superhero. I picked an anti-hero for my poem. I picked one of the more interesting characters of Norse mythology for my project. And I'm going to read to you an epigraph before I get started with the poem itself. It's from Neil Gaiman, Norse mythology, The Last Days of Loki. She wept silently to herself for the pain of her husband, for the death and dishonor of their children. She held a bowl, although she did not know why. Before the gods had brought her here, they had told her to go to her kitchen and bring the biggest bowl she had. So my poem is called Loki. The Norns have spoken words like fetters. Bound I am in threads of light and dark. Cool waters, calm, caress my silver skin. Still, I swim. Today, in the Franang Falls, sunlight does not illuminate my deeds. The Norns have spoken in my dreams. A silver salmon among the salmons. A shape-shifting god among the gods. None craftier than I. The Norns have spoken words like feathers. The nets are cast. By noon I will have fallen. The hand that holds the hammer like a feather will have gripped my scales beyond escape. Slippery salmon in the murky waters, I will be bound by my own flesh. In the earth's bowels I'll see no mercy from my tormentors. My mates, please do not harm my children and my wife. The Norns have spoken. Soon the gods will dare not meet my eyes. The Norns have spoken words like fetters. The end of gods, the end of days is near. In this dark cave I see the truth, now, here, illuminating in her simple dark blue eyes, the rivers on her face, her grief and mine. What will you do to me? She asked the gods. You may do as you wish, they said. My wife's twisted face is bare, beauty, devotion beyond worldly confines. The Norns have spoken words like feathers and mercy, words of many threads. My wife is here to collect the poison that drips in steady streams above my head. The bowl fills to the brim. She holds it steady, and while she empties it, in agony I writhe. The Norns have spoken in my dreams beyond what I could understand, of love, forgiveness, care. Such words always have passed ethereal above my head. The
Wow.
Norns have spoken.
Wow. Thank you. That's beautiful.
May I read another one?
Sure.
Okay. So this one is also homework. It's an acrostic project. I picked a piece on Georgia O'Keeffe by Georgia O'Keeffe, Lake George Shanty. And I also have an epigraph for this as well. This is basically like a project that she did in a way to see if she could paint in the colors that were popular among her peers, her male peers among in her day. And here's what she says about this piece. In my next show, the shanty went up. The men seemed to approve of it. They seemed to think that maybe I was beginning to paint. That was my only low-toned, dismal color painting. And here's my poem. We have met here in another life, in this shanty near Lake George and those dreary colors. We seem to return towards that time, the barn door open. What is there to take, one could say, but the breath of dry grasses? How could it be, circled as they are from above and below by so much water? Brown, burned, dark wood, dark windows, only the thin white frame suggests the possibility of flowing. Let it open, left, right. Inside, a boat, maybe, and the pulling of oars, like men do it, like men do. We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, we women of many moods. Women, we who breathe red from the womb of our mothers. Women, we who exude light from breasts shaped like the mountains green. Women, we who shape our voices around shades of primal, infinite blue. We, gray mystified in the shadow of men. Forget the leaking roof. Winds are a-changing. Pick up the brush and say yes to the brown shanty's tenuous passage through our visceral flow. How can we not see in the dull sky the possibility of water? The tumult in our veins prescribe tributary hints of future efflorescence. I'm on my way in this new space. Can you imagine the calm waters and the reflection of the evening sun, the moon full and pink and expectant? None of these are seen yet in the shanty's dismal colors, only this patience. Manure turns time into blossoms. Color is our work.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much. I believe everyone's had a chance. Anyone hasn't gone? I think it leaves me, and I guess I'll share also. I'm Belinda Subraman, coming to you from El Paso, Texas. My latest book is Full Moon Midnight from Roadside Press, also available on the Big Snake, but it's best to get it directly from the press. And that's my own painting there on the front. Okay. Lessons of science fiction. I hear cosmic wheels turning. Stardust is applied to my telescopic eyes. Our future is brown and gray, metallic, beige muslin, and colorful machinery talking to our drabness amongst the dust. Animals walk upright with alien heads. Tails are wound up off the floor as a sign of respect to strangers. The air is infested with drones. Imagine privacy as the sanctum of our bugged homes, where evidence is not obvious. We kid ourselves this is fiction, and humans will advance with technology. Maybe there will be a place where only the robots have color and intergalactic humor, and our dunes hide monstrous worms. Meanwhile, even in the movies, science demonstrates miracles at the speed of light. But humans remain primal, willing to break the backs of humanity for ownership and lust for coins. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'll just do this little one here. Open meditation. We ignore all the lives around us while we roll around in our heads and create suffering. The squirrels, the birds, flowers, and dirt, objects of restructured molecules to make them seem permanent, are all parts of the same breath. When we open our lenses, shutters fall away, accidental joy fades into calm, and we are full in the void. Okay, thank you. Let me see the time. Does anyone want to read one more short one? No? Are we go? Okay, Mona. Is it just Mona?
I'll go too.
Okay, Mona and okay. Finn, I think your motion was first, so go ahead. Finn? Go ahead, Finn.
Right, okay, sorry, I'm here. All right, this one's called Cobra. Snake-eyed corner rundown diner deserted in the desert like some forgotten cameo in a wasted shallow movie. Sharing the best years of your lives. Shaded beyond the memories of that last milkshake before the sun went down. Strung up in a hangover hollow cause, negotiating your way out of negativity and endless other sistered shared cheroots. As you hung about by the cardboard boxes, by the half-shut knife halfway house. Now you sit in a temporary Mexican retreat, never forgetting where you started, with the trials and tribulations of corner coke dealers, down and low, Bleecker Street couch surfing, seems so long ago. Only some of them are gone, whilst others are scattered to the wind, blending into the dusty landscape where the matching tables and rust-backed chairs share evening silhouettes with cacti. Last stop before the next stop, which is no stop, the Amnesia Hotel. And too many forsaken neighborhoods in the journey of your life, calculated and separated, and reality with a side of pickles and endless refills with or without the sour cream. Helplessly hoping that the coffee grains of uncertainty have dried out enough to vanish into nature. Gritty goes without saying, worn out slabs, it's your lifestyle choice, and no one ventures too near the bare wires, which are safely out of reach. It's not a risk, it's just choices you've made, not a post-apocalyptic night storm that blew away the doubts and aspirations, equal in its discernment and fulfillment, like another turn for the sultry. Not the worst place to be. At least the cheese is fresh. There you go.
Thank you. All right. I'm just going to go down the list. Susie, would you like to read a short poem?
I don't have one that's short.
Oh, okay. All right. How long are they?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Mona?
Okay, this one it's short. It's called Rusalka Gazal. And it was on the theme of mermaids. Like that's the best that I could do. um Rusalkas. One day we'll find inside this body pearl a river. We, like tributaries, will become that river. Under the moon, you said, I fish, you human. We feel the velvet green, the scum, the river. The sinuous meander of what was just a brook, the mountain's core, the song, its hum, a river. In these dark waters we find you fish, I human. Unheard under the waves, the drum, its river, the beat that carves rock into riverbed, its calling, I fish, you human. We bleed from our gums the river. Who am I? Who are you? We asked, unhinged, unsatisfied. We link like currents in a conscious stream, the river. Unhinged, unsatisfied, you fish, I human, the pearl a dream away, into a delta will succumb the river. Our shells dissolve where life begins in the Black Sea. Rusalka is my name. In the Black Sea, I am the river.
All right. Thank you. All right. Linda, would you like to read one?
Yeah, I have a short one. Actually, I want to say that it was published by Finn Hall. He just published a few months ago an anthology called Ain't No Dead Beats Around Here. So it's pretty short. Desperately seeking center. Put on display, center of town, carved alabaster pony, carousel spins round. Majorette twirls baton, sad-eyed clown walks maze, ballerina pirouettes, mannequin centers gaze. Calliope shrieks, deafening refrain, magician dead center, fronts runaway train. Visions follow stealthily, apparitions renewed, terror envelops, center unscrews.
Oh, thank you.
It's kind of macabre. You're welcome.
Okay, Mark, would you like to read one?
Yeah, I think I found one. It's kind of short. It's called My Private Club. Is not the Masons who always look askance when you speak to them. Nor is it the fraternity I joined because I'd made friends with those who liked to party. Nor my high school graduating class, with whom I got along just fine, but never noticed when they faded into the distance. Nor the Catholic Church, which defined my heritage and family. I can't say in all honesty that my college alma maters really gave a shit about me. That goes for my place of employment, too. Rather, my private club is an ongoing epic of surprise and wonder, always reimagining itself, reminding me that no one else has been invited to my exclusive circle of experience, a circle without rules, prizes, reunions, or secret handshakes.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Paul, do you have something you'd like to read?
Yeah, this is from my book that was put out by the Beat Association called The Ice Cream Melted. It's called Holding the Trophy. What happens after the pictures of you holding the trophy? How long can you keep that smile you flashed for the cameras? Inscripted on the trophy says, for your persistence at believing you are a writer, for not giving up. No one said they liked the words. It's clear you see yourself as an artist. You have been at it for a long time. You have seen your own growth. Strangers even come up to you and say, "Hey, thanks for those words." You hold the trophy tightly, as if to hold on to the moment. The crowds, if they were there, are gone. Your cat doesn't give a damn. Just open another can of food. It gets old. You brought the trophy everywhere. People don't even ask about it if they ever did. You have been told to stop talking and walking up to everyone and telling them you have a trophy. A therapist found online told you to stand in front of the mirror every morning, every afternoon, every night, as much as you need to. Don't feel ashamed. If you need to go more often, look directly into the eyes, repeat, "I am a writer. I write every day. I haven't given up, and no one cares, and I have a trophy to prove it."
All right. Suzanne.
It was great, Paul. Okay, so this is called Our Rebel Seeds. Poems want to feed our rebel seeds, disturb our complacency, wake us, shake us, take us, cross the bridges to other worlds, defy the mind that would have us bow to its sovereignty, point to the light at the end of the linear tunnel, teach us how to navigate these dark nights of the soul from our hearts, bellies, blood, bones.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. When winter sings, the normally calming wind agitates my aura. The grooming breath of a winter's dragon scatters seeds and debris, washes away dead things, clears the path for me. The old psyche disorients, disconnects. Strands break off and wave. The eye of all dispassionately sees the mover of my muscles, sees the actor in my play, and she isn't me. The wind squalls a challenge. The ego thinks the props are real, as the ombre essence of desert pueblos blend with dust into the sunset, into the dark, where stars are pinholes to the infinite. Susie, last chance. You want to read something?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Shoot.
Okay. So this poem was published. It's part of a chapbook manuscript I'm circulating that's looking for a home. It was published under a different title. The title it was published under is Poem for Jackie Disler, but the original title is I Like Hot Dogs Burnt Too. The ghost of any breeze will fly under the stars I serve, buoyant, born of the air, of silence and invisibility, and that which swims past you in algae water or silt water, or fresh water sewer spilled into the primal residuals of Lake Pontchartrain. She rises like a bride, a nun of love in the moon, an endangered white bird. Go up the delta, up the river, crossing in still light at Memphis, curving at Osceola, a seasonless banal yellow that is camouflaged to shootouts and battles, a vortex of death. Reach the steamy fingers, not now in 11 o'clock, push at your shins, bubbling like kittens. Past Marion, still in lockdown, and it will take your eyes. The gridiron of farms to factories, the ravening, the rapine, the sprawl of petty bourgeois in insulated ghettos. The sky at noon is pink in Illinois, each day a metal haze, mixed luck. A greater throng of people in Chicago where you can't get neither spark nor rain. 2, as people, we suffer by the constraints of our own stupidity. Thus we birth upon each other pain and evil. Ecosystems broken by automobile air conditioning. Be aware that even jogging reserve officers huff discourse on moral superiority. They have forgotten the nightmare that every crucifixion is a carnival, that goodness gets arrested, and that you can buy a flag at a truck stop along with a burnt plate of liver and onions. Species fascism is ignored here because the cashier brings the counter-forgotten car keys. She's a snappy senior on the swing shift that includes studs at breakfast after last call. My flag is stamped made in America, is made of cotton, submergence. The vapor of the dead is always on the skin. 3, but now I smoke the ash to a transience and evolution, a drug-induced passive dejection, parallel in my fancy to the chart of toxins. Let me be explicit. Landfill proportions disappearing wetlands. The backwash of river levee and water rechanneling is coastal erosion. She's a wet thing, a folding of moisture with ready caress, easy in air or earth, stunned only by the burnt circles of government testing, innocent to the tortures of super colliders and hurricane walls. The Americanization of Louisiana, more brutality in the mud, legacy paraded as franchise novelty. Her response is fast creeping vines, a dream come true, a misspelling of the DNA, a raw crime in a sorry state. Thank you.
All right. Okay, folks. All I have to say is wow, and thank you very much, and I hope to see you all again. And Gas will hold another reading mid-April would be next. Okay? All right.
Thank you for having us, Belinda.
So
Thank
nice.
you,
Thank you,
Belinda.
Belinda.
And everybody else, nice to see you.
You, this was great.
All right, so nice to see you. All righty, bye-bye.
Bye.
Glad you made it, Finn. All right, bye-bye, everybody.